These past few weeks my brother has been playing Elden Ring, and I saw how much he's struggling with the game, while also avoiding things that I consider essential. So I thought of making a video that could guide him through the most important things that you should do and know while exploring the lands between. Everything from exploration, combat, and a little explanation of the lore of the game so that you know why you're here, because in this type of games, it can get a little confusing sometimes. It might seem a lot, but I'll make it as understandable as I can. Trust me, once you watch this video, you will be ready to become Elden Lord. This video will be spoiler free, so don't worry about that. Lastly, not even 1% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, so hit that subscribe button right now. Without further ado, I am the Valley Knight, and today I am going to teach you how to Elden Ring. First thing that you need to know is that the Elden Ring is not a powerful ring or an actual object. It is better described as the concept that defines the world of this game. It is represented by these runes, and the Queen Marika is the ruler of the lands between. A big part of the story of Elden Ring can be understood by knowing the characters of the game. You are a tarnished, a descendant of Godfrey who was a great champion and the consort of Queen Marika, until she banished him from the lands between. And now you are the chosen one to come back and claim the throne, and become the Elden Lord. This will not be an easy task because to accomplish this, you'll need to face against the demigods, which are all offsprings of Queen Marika. They all claimed the rune after the Elden Ring was broken and everything became chaos. This led to the War of the Shattering taking place, and all the demigods took over a part of the land. The story goes much deeper than that, and it's amazing. I would really suggest looking for the entirety of it once you have finished the game, because this is just a brief explanation for you to know why you're here and what is your purpose in the lands between. Now, for the actual gameplay, you need to keep in mind that Elden Ring is an open world game. So, the best advice I can give you is to enjoy it and take your time. Explore and go wherever you feel like going. Trust me, it's going to be worth it every time. Either for a nice view, a cool weapon, or a secret area. Do not feel the need to rush through the game. That being said, the first thing that you will want to do is go to the Church of Marika. Every time you see one of these, you go there. There are a bunch of them scattered in the lands between, but they all look the same so that you can recognize them more easily. These churches will always have a sacred tier which will improve your healing flasks. This little thing that you see here is a site of grace. Go to every single one that you encounter. You are going to use these to rest and replenish your flasks. The site of grace is a place where you'll be able to level up your attributes with the runes that you've collected. The first things that you'll want to level up is vitality and endurance, which will increase your HP and your stamina bar, allowing you to take more damage and fight more. The other attributes will depend on the build and weapons that you choose to master. Also, this is your fast travel. Once you rest though, all the enemies that you've killed before will respawn. There are also what I like to call the main sites of grace. You will recognize these because they will emit a light that will tell you where your next major objective lies. This is the guidance of grace. These graces will lead you to the legacy dungeons of the game. I will talk about them in a bit because they're important. The thing is that if you feel lost and don't know where to go next, follow them to find your destiny. After going to the Church of Ele, I would suggest exploring all of Limgrave, especially this place. It is very important that you go to this church over here too, because this one has a flask of wondrous physics. This is a special flask that you can equip, and as its name implies, you can mix them with different marbles that you will find in the minor Erdtrees. After finishing Limgrave, you should head to the south region of the map, the Weeping Peninsula. Like I said, you can go anywhere you want, but I feel like this region is going to teach you how things work, thus preparing you before going to Stormvale Castle. In this peninsula, you can find another Church of Marika. You're gonna find a merchant in this section of the map. This guy will sell you a lantern. Make sure to buy it because you're gonna need it to go through the caves and dungeons, in dark places where you can barely see. This is gonna be super helpful, even at night. And you will also come across these little shining trees. These ones will give you a golden seed, and these ones will increase the amount of healing flasks that you can have. You will also find a walking mausoleum. There are various of these around the map, and they will help you to replicate the boss's remembrances, which you can use later to buy the weapons or the armors of the main bosses. Your map is filled with fog and a brown background. As you explore, the fog will be clearing out, and you will be left only with the main roads of the maps. Once you come across these pillars, you need to go to them because they will reveal a fragment of the map, showing you all the landscape. If you don't know where they are, just look at the brown area and find these. These are the locations of the pillars. Once you unlock a fragment of the map, you can find these little holes on it. They are mining caves. Very useful if you want to get smithing stones, which is a material that you need to upgrade your weapons. And how do I upgrade my weapons? Well, after some time you will be able to go to the Round Table Hold. This will be your base of operations in the game, and you will find many NPCs here. The most important ones will be Master Hugh, who will help you with your weapons, and Roderica, who will upgrade your Spirit Ashes. I'll talk about these in a moment, just be patient. The last thing that you need to know about the map is that you should go to every legacy dungeon. These are special places that play in a more linear way. These are the main dungeons that you'll need to tackle to complete the game. Every dungeon will have 2 main bosses. You fight a lesser boss, and then to complete the legacy dungeon, you'll face Demigod. And this is pretty much how you progress the game. Explore, find cool stuff, go to the legacy dungeon, and fight against the Demigod. That's how you will progress the main story. But aside from that, you can also complete some side missions, which usually consist of helping an NPC. If you need help, don't be afraid to look for it. Don't be afraid to look for guides on how to complete a quest or where you should find a character. Quests in Elden Ring don't have a clear way to keep track of, and sometimes you need to do stuff that you would have never guessed by your own. For example, when you start the game, if you explore these woods, you'll come across a howling werewolf on top of this tower. And I tried doing everything for something to trigger, but nothing worked. Turns out that you need to go back to Santa Claus and tell him that you heard a strange howling, and he will give you a snapping fingers emote, which then you can use to trigger the werewolf coming down and continuing this quest. How were you supposed to know that? You just don't. Trust me, you will need to look for every quest that you want to complete because you won't be able to do it on your own. If you follow some character missions, you can even unlock different endings, and it's a big game. So if you need to look for something, just do it. Something else that I would suggest is for you to hit that like button and subscribe. Done? Thank you. And now, as a final section, I'm going to teach you how the combat in Elden Ring works. The combat in this game might seem simple, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. To start off, you have a weapon which has its own movement. Your green bar represents your stamina, and this is used whenever you attack, dodge, or jump. The blue bar is mainly used when you cast spells or use your Ashes of War. The best way to approach combat in this game is by being aggressive. Why? Because even though you don't see it, every enemy has a poise bar. This poise bar can be broken when you attack successively. And if you manage to break it, the enemy will be left open for a free attack with huge damage. On the other hand, if you stop attacking, the enemies will start recovering their posture, so it's better for you to be aggressive. The attacks that do the most damage to the enemies are also the ones that do the most damage to the posture. For example, charge attacks or jump attacks. And your weapon also affects how much posture damage you can inflict, with bigger weapons needing less hits for you to break the poise bar. The best thing that you can do is to find a weapon with a moveset that you like and feel most comfortable with. As you play more and more, you'll be able to feel when you're about to break an enemy's posture, and you'll get better at it. However, you need to differentiate a good opportunity with being greedy. Sometimes it is better to back away and heal than go all in and die. Take it easy, heal, and go back into the fight. If you go to the Church of Ele at night, you will meet Rani, and she will give you the ability to summon Spirit Ashes. These spirits are phantoms that you can summon in order to help you in battle. To summon them, you need to equip them, and you can upgrade them with Roderica at the Round Table Hold. These Spirit Ashes are very helpful, and they can get the attention of your enemies in case you need to heal, change weapons, or something like that. You will be able to summon them in almost every fight. As long as you see this little symbol in the lower left corner, you can use their help. You can only use them once per encounter, and don't be afraid to use them. They're a core mechanic of the game. It is up to you to make use of this mechanic or not. Finally, this thing that you see here, this is your equipment menu, and everything that is here will end up adding weight to your character. If you are below the 30% of the maximum equipment load, it is considered a light load. This allows you to roll super far when you dodge. 30 to 70 is medium load, and it allows you to roll normally. Above 70% is considered to be a heavy load. Here, you will be fat rolling, and your stamina recovery will be much slower. Above 100%, you won't be able to roll at all. So I would really suggest avoiding going above 70% even if you go for a heavy build, because every time that you dodge, you will be pretty much dead. With all this knowledge that I have given to you, now you are ready to become the Elden Lord. If you have any questions or even advice for other people, feel free to leave them down in the comments. If this video helped you in any way, supporting me in return would mean the world to me. Like the video and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Valley Knight, and I'll see you in the next video.